What have you been using this gun for?
I've used it for killing people.
Fair enough.
Here we go. A trail of blood. The lieutenant smells it too.
Killing people?
It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moralist euphemism? Defending your family and your property. I haven't done that. I've used it to kill people.
At least he's honest.
Interesting. During or after the war?
There is no after the war. Class war is never over.
He shakes his head and smiles, his teeth rotten black.
So he's continued killing after hostilities ended. Okay. Okay. This is it. You can feel it, like battery acid on the tip of your tongue. Something you haven't felt in a while.
But what?
This is what you live for. This is the shit. The great serotonin jackpot.
What?
The solution.
Ah.
Going straight. No euphemisms. He doesn't like those. No. Be careful now. Slow and steady does it. Make him repeat it first.
Alright, so you're saying you killed people after active fighting stopped.
What did I just say?
He keeps shaking his head erratically, suddenly. He brushes something out of his eye.
I just tell you, don't drop the ball now.
Okay. I know you want to tell me. Have you killed anyone with that gun in the past last week or two?
I don't want to tell you anything, you grotesque murderer.
Did you use that gun to shoot and kill a colonel of the security contractor Crenell?
The who now?
He leans in and cups his ear.
Heard you. He just wants to hear you say it again. This is dramatic flair on his part. Right choice. We're in. Do it, sire.
The fascist death squad who took a bullet in the mouth on the night of March 4th.
Oh yes, that one. Ugly piece of work, that boy.
Did you?
I hope I still get to do the composure roll. The lieutenant takes a sudden step toward him.
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the commune of Revachol.
Okay, it's not going to be that easy.
I do not collaborate with murderers and pederasts of the liberal regime.
A drop of blood in the saliva. Exhaust him with proof. Pile it all on him. Get a confession. The gun. The murder weapon is the perfect opener. The scent of blood in the air. But what else? There was something you can't remember.
Okay.
Something about the tracks. Suddenly, all those tracks are so confusing. Go with something else first.
Ballistics. Okay, we've done the ballistics. Shot came from this island.
I saw you poking around there, looking for evidence. You're damn diligent when it comes to dead fascies. Did you like the view?
You've been here a long time, Mr. Druss. Too long. You clearly need medical aid.
Oops, I apparently skipped the first bit. You had direct visibility. There are embrasures in the concrete specifically meant for a top faller to use. And you had a long-range rifle in your possession.
I'm ready to die. I've done my part.
He's practically admitting to it. Dead fascists for fascists. Done his part. Just one thing remains unclear. The rifle does not seem to have a scope.
Alright. One thing, where's the scope? How did you make the shot without a scope? We have everything else.
Forget about your stupid fucking scope. I don't know where it is. Find it yourself. It's your problem now.
I guess.
He lost it. He just doesn't know where it is. Forget it. Push on.
So he's honest. Okay. It's the best uninterrupted line of sight into that window on all of Martinez.
Because it's a sniper's nest, you stupid fuck. Radio Gosh is right. You have worms in your brain.
Another sudden twitch, then one more in his right eye. Alright. I don't need your cooperation. I've got this. Show him the Triangung 446.
Not a lot of guns around that use military-grade ammunition, are there?
It's a real gun. Not like your little musketeer pistol. I've seen you prance around
Does he
with
just watch the island all the time? I mean, there's not that much entertainment out here, I would imagine.
You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons? Going against automatic rifles with these toy guns. Of course you got those boys killed.
So he saw the shootout.
He's watched it happen. He would have a good view of the tribunal from here. It's not just empty boasting. So he saw you. Okay. So what? Don't let it divert you.
Alright. Stop changing the subject. We have the murder weapon.
You know what? You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. Should we call it?
Lieutenant looks at the weapon demonstratively. Do you think we have the murder weapon? Or you think we have the murder weapon?
4.46 jacketed ammunition, modified for range. We have it. This is it.
Alright, I'm calling it. We have the murder weapon. Then takes out his notebook and draws a single line.
This feels good, doesn't it? Tearing things up like this. When you have the murder weapon, you have the killer.
Murder.
The old man does not say more. He just glances into the reeds and twitches once more. I'm trying to think if anything's come up during this discussion that I want to drop into. Not really. Oh, composure. And boost that check. If we get a chance to make it. Come on, what am I forgetting? Hit yourself on the side of the head.
Wait, here it comes. The goddamn Maybells. The dried Maybells on Clausia's roof.
Oh, yeah.
There were Maybells in the grass when you got here. They're revolutionary symbols from the war. Nowhere else, nowhere in all of Martinez have you seen them this spring. Wait, don't forget the footprints.
Ah, everything.
Footprints in the dust in the secret space behind Clausia's bedroom. Now, they're gonna come up.
Of course. Thank you, Head. Thank you.
You got it. Remember? The boot prints were like no modern soul. Maybe don't beat yourself anymore, though. You're not immortal.
There were Maybells behind the victim's window, showing the dried flower.
Damn Maybells. The whole island is turning white with them. So many this year, too. The spring is coming. No, it's already here. Wash the filth away.
Okay. I haven't seen these flowers anywhere else in Martinez, only here.
They blossom on the islets before we fertilize them with our blood. Resurrection was snow white in May before they ruined it.
Oof.
South, the Bay of Martinez is dotted with little freckles of islets, turning green, with white flowers in white snow.
The coast, too, before they piled their containers on top of it, filled with broken, useless trash for fat-fingered bourgeois children to play with.
You must get around a lot to stay undetected all these years. Do you know any secret paths? Pinball work?
Nice insert there.
I may.
Oh. Young woman called Clausia. Ring any bells? These dried flowers were behind her window.
Clausier.
He knows her, but hadn't heard the name.
Yes, Clausia. You hadn't heard the name, had you?
My ears don't reach the city.
You know her, right? She had intimate relations with the victim, the mercenary.
With the victim.
He turns his sight from the whitening field of flowers and falls silent. Then the muscles in his jaw twitch, a spasm.
There is a small tremble. Looks like a smile. A crooked smile. Yet isn't quite voluntary. He's about to burst. Don't leave any loose ends. Get him on everything.
Okay. I wonder what brand of boots you're wearing.
Everything is brands with you individualists. Who cares what brand my shoes are? Sansa. Some shit.
Show me the soles, please, Mr. Douglas.
Fucking imbecile.
The old man stretches out his leg. A black and white spiral pattern covers the sole of the worn-out running shoes on his feet.
The maker is Sensorique. The model is Corbe, and the size is 43. These are not the unusual horizontal pattern
Yeah.
soles you saw in the dust on the floor of the hidden room. They do, however, seem to be about the same size.
The size fits, but not the soul.
Lieutenant comes to the same conclusion. Wait, maybe it's simpler than that.
Sire, he doesn't have to be wearing them right now.
People change shoes. Doesn't mean you weren't there, near the room where the victim died in, sneaking around.
Racking those brains, are you? Desperate to report something back to your masters? They must have really loved that dead fuck.
The lieutenant gives you a quick sideways glance and nods to acknowledge.
Okay.
The prints were his. You can see it in those eyes. He can't keep them from flickering, looking for something. The old man stares at his own prints in the ash around the fire. Silent suddenly, some strange process within him. A gush of wind.
Really hope we get to check what his deal was. Okay.
You know who he was. A coalition-trained murderer.
True.
Armored and armed. He wasn't human. The blunt end of a hammer. Dripping with blood.
He was a rapist. I'm not saying he didn't deserve it.
Beating us to the ground. Moaning with joy. You hounds get so thorough when a company-trained killer dies. I haven't seen you on this coast for 40 years. You know, maybe I should have killed one sooner.
Getting lonely?
Got your attention. Now you stop beating druggies and prostitutes in your basement. Now you come to investigate. Not
I mean, it's not an untrue indictment of the police. He breathes through flared nostrils.
This is it. Shot him. Shot him. Say shot him, not killed him.
So you shot him?
Oh, the inhumanity. One paramilitary less in Revachol.
You can almost see him squeeze a tear out of his eye. His fists begin to tremble from the anger. No communist talk's the best kind of, well, second best kind of talk we got, so. Welcome, Chow. Alright, what's going on here? Lieutenant, okay, right arm to Hushu.
While the lieutenant listens, holding his breath.
Alright. I will also hold my breath.
I had them in my sights. Both of them. Him and the whore. I was breathing with them, in phase.
He's good.
Pulled the trigger and flew on the air until I landed in his mouth.
Yeah, it's been a ride, and I did the dream right before it too, so goddamn.
I didn't think I had
Poignant
a
is
shot
an
like
understatement.
that in me anymore. I did. I saw him kneel there with his mouth full of death, and that stupid look on his face. And his dick still in her.
There, a hot flash of rage almost carries
Ooh.
the smile away. Some dark peace.
Then what?
Nothing. I went to sleep. Next morning there were Maybells everywhere. The world was white, or what's left of it anyway. My last spring here. I knew the fascists would come to avenge their own,
Like they do.
and so they did.
Mr. Dross, are you aware you're confessing to murder?
Lieutenant asks after a second of silence.
Yes.
A single word is all he gives. Or can I dump this at this point? Why not a little more shivers? Or no, composure for that check, yeah. Max that out.
And you were looking at them, the victim and a young woman, having sex, through the scope of your rifle that night, before you shot him?
Lieutenant takes out his notebook slowly. Very slowly.
The old man nods.
Why?
Because that's what they were doing.
He shrugs, then smacks his lips.
The motive. This is where the motive is going to come from.
I don't understand. Do you, detective? I don't understand this part.
Why were you looking at them? Actually, we got a 3-minute ad roll coming up just to kill pre-rolls, so I don't want to break the tension on the next run of questions, so let's get that out of the way now. Alright, back to it. Get me back to that composure check, please. Oh, sorry, yeah, again, for anyone just coming in, my controller has some wire issues, so sometimes it disconnects and reconnects instantly. It's annoying. So anyway, yeah, why were you looking at them that night?
I'm always looking.
He cocks his head to the side, then turns his eyes to the city. Another tremor passes his right side, lower in intensity.
Are you always looking through the scope of a rifle? I'm just trying to understand.
A rifle scope has the best magnification.
True.
Helps him see all the shit.
And if you don't like it,
Click.
If it's part of the shit you see.
then you pull the trigger.
Yes. Think of it as a form of critique.
Oof.
He will not stop now. These dialectical materialist types never do. We've got him.
Exploit it, okay.
Connect every little piece now. Wrap this up like a gift.
Let's assess his body language.
What strikes you about this gaunt man is not the stomach pain, or the cough, or the malnutrition. For a man who's spent 44 years hidden in the urban wild,
He's surprisingly okay.
indeed, he speaks fluidly. His movements are rapid, if erratic. His voice, despite the cough, is there. It is capable of expressing complicated ideas. Above all, he seems animated.
Animated? By what?
It's a mystery. This animation comes at a cost too. Erratic hand gestures, thought processes cut off like threads, as he just stares at the logs or the reeds. He also suffers mood swings, bubbling to the surface, unconstrained by his nervous system.
Okay.
And also flashes of lust simmering in there. Not too common in people his age.
The lust. Wouldn't have glands have stopped by now?
There is definitely something hormonal there. Whatever the condition he's suffering, there is a sexual element to it.
Dementia?
You've seen demented people before. This feels similar, yet different. When his thoughts move, they are lucid, keen even, not senile.
Okay.
Is it some kind of substance damage? Like he's addicted to something? Not only the painkillers he's clearly on.
Okay. Mr. Dross, are you on some kind of a psychoactive substance?
No. I won't be stuffed full of shit like the rest of this city.
Okay, so he's straight edge except for the
You
painkillers.
said you take painkillers.
Lieutenant follows your lead.
I take them to cope with pain. The people of this city use painkillers because they have pain.
Oh, you can feel the quotation marks.
Not enough money for a greedy doctor.
He is indeed very lucid at times.
Yeah.
It's not a downer, rather an upper, judging by his snaps.
How about Parolidon?
I don't know what that is.
Are you on amphetamines?
Like some kind of decadent rock star.
He doesn't dignify it with more of an answer. Mr. Dross, are you okay? How's your memory?
No, I'm not okay. I shit blood, and I'm surrounded by insane people.
Fair enough.
There it is again. Erratic hand motions, bouts of rage, and the stomach thing too, of course. Could it be a symptom of overdosing on something? Something even you have not tried? Keep your eyes peeled.
Okay. What specifically did you not like about what you saw the night of the murder?
Them. Fucking. I didn't like that.
So you were jealous?
Jealousy is a reactionary concept. I didn't like the Reaver enjoying himself. Drugged out, soothed in the arms of a young woman. I wanted him to die so he could not enjoy life anymore.
For him to stop reacting to stimuli, to be broken off from the world, cordoned into darkness.
Yeah, I think I got that in the first place.
I wanted to see his head explode.
Fair enough.
That too. She should know better than to hold a child murderer between her thighs. I knew he'd be there for one more second, writhing.
Great, so he knows how long it takes the guy to come.
That's all it takes for the bullet to reach his head. Now that I think of it, I wasn't aiming for his mouth. I wanted his brains to spill out on her. But you can't have everything.
Jesus.
Her body sweating from the drugs, slick from cerebral hemorrhage. The caliber of bullet he used does not do that kind of damage.
Huh. How long had you been watching her?
Since she came to Martinez, I saw her sneaking in the reeds early in the morning, behind the fell.
Oh, that would be the buoy.
It was dark, still winter. She didn't have her skimpy outfit on then.
Is she the one who shoved the anorak in the pipe?
Past the fell building on the coast. What was she doing there?
Hiding something in the water. She had a fag after she'd done it. I was up.
Yes, that was the buoy.
She couldn't see me, but I could see her, smoking. She was nervous, but not scared.
And beautiful.
What do you think she hid there?
Her passport and tickets to Villiers. And from there to Cachet Brut.
Did he take him?
In the free state of Seminine, hidden away at the edge of the earth, near the Pale.
This is the hidden buoy she told us about. You looked into it?
After she was gone,
Okay.
Did you keep what was in it? When we found the submersible, it was empty.
no. Why would I do that? I didn't need tickets to Villiers. I put them back. If I wanted to extort someone, I'd do better.
Fair enough.
This implies that he's thought about extorting her.
Which is kind of fucked up.
Also, a little inconsistency here. He was surprised to hear her name Clausia before.
No, we know her name was different on the documents. Are you sure? We checked the submersible. There was nothing there.
Why would I need that trash? I'm not going to Villiers.
Fair enough.
There it is again. The strange neurological state he's sometimes in.
Huh. You saw her name on the passport, but before, when I said her name was Clausia, you didn't seem to recognize it.
It didn't say Clausia in there.
Yeah, we know. What did it say her name was in the passport?
It was something. I don't remember. It was dark that morning. I only remember her face on the photo.
Okay. Yeah, she told us that much, so I don't know why that was still in that line of questioning or not a connection. But anyway, moving on. Did you continue watching her after this?
I did. She had a face like an archipelago with those birthmarks. And a body hard and lean and bruised all over. Black and yellow. I could see she's taken a beating. I could see who she was, too. A spook. On the run. Revachal's the cloaca of capital now.
That's one hell of a phrase.
Man-at-arms dealers end up here to do drugs and have sex like animals.
You could tell she was a spook from the documents?
She had different color hair on the photo and glasses. Forged.
He's good at this.
Sordid bourgeois affair. I've heard about this kind of thing on the radio.
He's setting it up for you. The bruises. You can't make that out in a scope.
And you can see her bruises through the scope of a rifle?
You can't see bruises through a scope. It's just a blur.
Alright. How does he know those minute details about her body? It's gotta be the people.
It quickly comes to you.
The bruises on her body. Any chance you've seen them through a hole in a wall?
Oh, yes. Cutting those drugs of hers into little lines with a knife. Masturbating.
Everything in him fills with impossible longing, all at once.
Did you make that hole?
With a clip point knife.
Okay, we found the origin of it.
For listening in, too. For hearing the moaning and the snorts.
Ever see her through a window on a roof?
Like that, too. Yes. Bending like a bow against the glass.
You've been through the secret route through the Whirling Rags. Those were your footprints there. You just changed your shoes.
I've been through all of Martinez. Every nook and cranny.
And that too.
Yes, that too. The things they did in that little room. What she'd do to feel good. Funny the way light works.
Could have been a photographer.
You turn it on inside, and it gets so dark out, you can't see a man looking in. I learned that in the 20s, when they were still hunting me. I've seen people do some shit, but...
It's kind of like what we learned with me being bad at flashlight. Like, unless you shine a light directly at something, it's a good chance you're going to miss it. There's none direct on it bouncing off of whatever you're looking for. He keeps shaking his head.
Those two took the cake. You hear the familiar scribble of the lieutenant's pen. A quick glance at you.
How did you get in there? The hidden pinball workshop.
I can just walk in there now after a good wash. I told you, they think I'm an antisocial. Closing hour is a good time. The kitchen's empty.
He left the key?
Had to open the steel door in the kitchen? How?
I got that open a long time ago. Some bourgeois game merchant lived there. I don't know, 15 years ago. He left spare keys all over, and I took one. Then I saw her turn the light on one night in my scope.
Oh, yeah. He's been here so long. He was probably there when the company was still there. He points to the whirling in rags.
No use for it. A spare key, like the one hanging behind the Union Box window.
Did you have feelings for that woman?
There's nothing to hold on to. Only this. It's not enough.
Ooh, he's breaking.
The
This is
coals
good.
of his eyes glisten suddenly, like stones dripping with water. Is he crying?
Man needs to feel something else. In this fight, it helps if you have your eye on something there. It's weakness, I know.
There have been others?
Yes, over the years. It's not unproletarian to feel something.
That's fucking real. Was that why you left the dried flowers behind her window?
No.
He starts to shake his head again. A sunflower on a withered stalk. Why then?
I don't really know. I was there one night and she was crying, like a child, in the corner of our room on the floor, like she does sometimes.
When was this?
The day after I killed him.
And you brought her Maybells?
Yes. I don't know why I do the things I do anymore.
You wanted to console her.
Maybe. I told you, I have holes in my brain now. I wouldn't just sit here waiting for you.
A sudden pang of rage.
If you came 10 years ago, I would have killed you.
He wipes his eye.
In the silence, the lieutenant draws a line in his notes, then nods at you once more.
So, in conclusion, it wasn't about him. It was about her.
Her.
He repeats, staring at the ashes. Then the reeds. There's a twitch in the corner of his eyes. He keeps looking at the reeds.
Low frequency hiss, barely, beneath the audible spectrum. It's gone.
What?
The lieutenant nods at you in acknowledgement.
Keep dumping points. I don't fucking know what the hell that was. Perception's maxed. Composure's maxed. I don't think we're going to be reconstructing any crime scenes. Fuck. Shivers, sure, whatever.
Where is she? That Clasier. I haven't seen her there for days.
Safe and sound, sire. Surely you have not misplaced the witness.
Surely. Okay. She got away, but she let us here first. She figured out someone was watching her from the seafort.
Gone. I knew it.
Technically, that's a lie.
She kept staring into the scope this last week at the island, like she knew.
Maybe she is that good. Oh, that's right. Yeah, she had the thread, so she knew.
Crying or smoking on the roof, staring right into me. It doesn't matter.
Midtown, across the Bay of Rivershell, the oceanic wind washes 40-story towers. Above them, Lucerne Central Aerodrome, A cocoon suspended in the sky by a web of suspension wiring, encircled by hybrid aircraft.
Look north.
On the platform, a young woman is withdrawing from amphetamines, barbiturates, and alcohol. Yet still, she smokes.
Oh, I guess that's her. Or are we remembering our ex-wife?
The city she's leaving for another, far south. Smaller, distant, hidden. Not like the great chandelier she sees sparkle in the night below her. Streetlights, towers, tenements, and water. And across it, a dark strip of ruins, barely visible, if she didn't squint her eyes. He knew she knows. She was looking at the island, figuring it out, day by day, cigarette by cigarette.
She's good.
We could get more. We've got him talking.
Who knows what he's seen and done over the years? Enough. Take him in. Bend his arms behind his back and end this.
Alright. You look at anything else you haven't liked?
A tragic comedy. Druggies, prostitutes, and rentiers.
A strange little engine seems to fire up in him again. It straightens his back. The familiar put, put, put of hatred.
More specifically.
Specifically, the whole city is a charnel house. Stripped clean and draped in neon. But Martinez is the worst.
How come?
Because of the racists. Everyone is a racist in Martinez. It's their favorite thing to do in the whole world. Listening to race-themed radio shows. In the ruins, in their lorries.
He points inland.
Pumped full of steroids and Radio Revachol 92. Race this, race that. It's all sanctioned by that social democratic union and the farce of a social democrat who runs it.
Mr. Clare?
Yes, the fly larva.
Oh, that guy does suck.
He let some nihilistic advertising yuppies erect a statue of Philippe III, a syphilitic murderer, on the town square, to spit on the working class.
I'm not going to interrupt.
Not since the serfs of ancient Pericarnassus has history produced a more inert social class than the Martinez proletariat.
Oof.
The rest of Revachol at least pretends to rebuild. These people still live in ruins. In tents, like animals, like those boom-boom morons on the ice. A pity they didn't drown in that tent of theirs.
Oh, he keeps shaking his head with sorrow for the sight he missed. At all?
The worst of them is the blood-drenched Sucrion on her yacht, licking her lips.
I mean, yeah.
The old whore's gone now. Her gun-toting porcelain men are dead. So, actually, no. The worst is that old cock parading around
Oh,
in
he's dead.
uniform, throwing balls all day. It's not enough that
Glad I didn't wear his pants.
liberals are dancing on our graves. The old loyalist ghouls still parade the ruins too. Every morning he's there, while the parasites he fought to protect are off in Ozon, or Koyamorang, or some other island they built their palaces on, feeding on drugs and having sex with their own children.
Oof. I mean, not the most inaccurate depiction of the rich, but anyway. Alright, we're gonna say nothing?
That's all the rich really want. Sex with their own children. Throughout history, even the royal bloodline of the suzerain, it's all just an excuse for them to have sordid sex. At least that old cunt, Frisell, is now dead.
Huh. Yeah, I have some questions about this.
We did good when we pushed him under the horse car. Until, in the 30s, those disco whores.
He breathes... No, yeah, well, he's clearly breathing in. His breath heavy with it. Yeah, he breathes in his breath heavy with hatred. You cannot make out a single word.
Disco whores are too much. Hatred shuts down his brain's language center, leaving only a nonsensical sputter.
Done in by disco whores.
What was that about? Steroids? It piqued your
Oh,
interest.
fuck off.
There was something about a statue and nihilistic advertising agency people. Might be worth investigating.
Disco whores?
Horse.
Is all he says. Even that word has to be pushed through his teeth with great force. The rage seethes too hard. And the racist on the gates, pumped full of steroids?
Yes, steroids. A racist on steroids.
You mean Measurehead, right? What's your opinion on him?
What is my opinion? You think the rich man has an opinion on this idiocy? Is the rich man on the radio telling you his opinion? No. The rich man's looking at real estate and fiddling his kids, wading through the corpses.
Ha, yes, but he was there. Why was he there if you can't have an opinion?
Alright. Then why was he there?
Scratching away at the race question. You moral intern monkeys keep the conversation going on Channel 4, helping the rich man conduct his swindle with this inanity.
Okay.
You think the rich man cares about your little race games? He rules the whole world, and he laughs at your moral soliloquies.
He stares into the dead embers.
Wait a moment. Let's get serious here.
Yeah, this is going anywhere.
Steroids and radio.
I wanted to
Steroids.
use the opinion thing.
Ha,
This one.
yes, but he was there.
There we go. Yeah.
Why was he there if you can't have an opinion?
I, for one, do have an opinion on Measurehead that people need to hear, and it's not positive.
You moralist types are all crypto-fascists, eternally fascinated with lurid race topics. Helping
Okay.
the ruling class conduct their swindle, keeping the inane conversation going on Channel 4.
So it's about the same.
The rich man doesn't care about complexion. He rules the world, and he laughs at your moral soliloquies.
He stares into the dead embers. Okay, yep.
Wait a moment. Let's get serious here.
Steroids and radio shows. Probably that Revachon 98 AM. That's irradiating the lumpen. It's the worst.
Okay, there was something about the statue in the roundabout. And syphilis?
Syphilis is a disease Philip III contracted in a whorehouse. The statue is an abomination.
Abomination?
The bacteria entered his brain and made him squander trillions on sparkling wine, cocainum, and monuments of himself. His son, Philip IV, the Insane, contracted syphilis in the womb.
We just delivered the insane. It's great. He breathes in with a wheeze of hatred.
Is technically possible, although Philippe III was not actually syphilitic. He was just mad.
And he still went on to govern Revachol for 25 years. We lost 2 million lives toppling that mode of government. And those grotesque statues, too. Hundreds of them.
But it's still there.
What a keen remark. Yes, it is, isn't it? It's still there. Do you know why?
But mean it ironically. Alright, Hope. Because the king is holy and his statues are indestructible.
No. Cynical design cockroaches like you.
Oh, he knows. He smelled my art degree.
Version of it. We tore it down with honest working class plastic explosives. But there it is.
My
again,
favorite kind.
grinning.
He shakes his head in disgust.
Art is a bourgeois establishment. It's an affront to humanity. Every gallery should be bulldozed, and the artists should all be given 30 years of hard labor in Yekokata.
Disagree. Like the art like sales industry, that's fucking disgusting. But
Wait, the bullet hole in Philippe's heart. The statue had been shot.
oh yeah,
It was him. It had to be. He's already proven capable of taking a far more complicated shot from here.
it was you. You shot the statue. There was a bullet hole in its heart.
I did. A needless, sentimental gesture. I should have spared the bullet for a deformed monster of liberal capitalism. Shameful, really.
Yes, shameful. So many others to punish over the years. Isn't that right, detective?
Yeah. That's it for the statue then. Tell me, Mr. Dross.
The fat union man let them put it there. Corrupt as he is. Probably got a fat check for it, too. Shared with the law.
He keeps having opinions about the union's leadership.
All right. You mentioned the Union is social democratic, and Mr. Clare is a farce of a social democrat.
Another hideous disappointment. Unions are the real enemy. The true enemy of the proletariat. Placating the masses.
Disappointment. So personal. He displays a familiarity with the
I
union.
guess, like, there's definitely problems with their incarnation under Capital. Who's a disappointment? Everett Clare?
That deformed toad? I wouldn't expect him to wipe his own ass.
Damn.
I mean, the brains of the operation. The smart one.
Liz or Leo?
Edgar.
Oh, yeah. You mean Edgar, Everett's brother.
He talks a big
We
game.
didn't really run it. Yeah, we didn't really run into him.
And social base. They must have sent the smart one to some university in Le Jardin, where it's alienation this and hegemony that.
You talked to Edgar?
First against the wall with him.
He stopped poking at the ash now, just shakes his head.
Clares wouldn't miss a man hidden in their own backyard. Not all this time.
Oh,
Nothing happens in Martinez without them knowing.
fair.
Of course. Maybe the Clears asked him to.
Have you approached them?
I haven't approached anyone. I hid. It was Edgar who came to me.
How did he...
Edgar. The cat's name is Edgar. Rest in peace, little buddy. How do you know you were here? Not my cat.
He didn't just
Someone else's
stumble
cat.
in like an oaf. He figured it out. Some kids told him about a monster on the island. I told you, he has brains.
He points to the path leading to the tower.
Stepped right off the boat and walked down where you came. I even kept the door open for him. Thought he was a man of the left. Wouldn't rat me out. I was right about one of those things.
Okay. I'm guessing he didn't rat you out. When was this?
20 years ago. Neither of them...
God, this section is so long and I love it.
Could they? They were less fat then.
But that's around the time the Clears came to power.
What did you talk about?
Edgar did the talking. Paid his respects like I were a fossil in a uniform. Offered platitudes.
Oh, he's definitely trying to jerk you off.
Flaunted his pink degree. Even quoted Marzoff. Never trust a social democrat who quotes Marzoff. Oh, charity too. They love their charity. Offered me blankets and social housing. I still have the gas cooker he brought.
And he let you be here?
Let me be here. The ZOC is an unlawful successor of the Commune of Revachol. We took this fortification from the Loyalists. Even the Clares understand this.
Fair.
They let him be here. Understanding was a courtesy. But why such a courtesy?
Mr. Dross, did you kill a Crenel mercenary for the Clares to incite a riot?
You know why I killed that fucker, Dwat. As to Edgar, I'm not doing anything for that swine again.
What did you do for Edgar, then?
Again? What have you done for
Thank
Edgar
you, Kim.
before?
Tried teaching him some Marzovian socioeconomics. They didn't stick. We parted ways.
Fair enough.
Okay, he didn't do the hanged man for them. But he's insinuating something. There is more here. You can feel it. He was not outright lying, but almost.
What was the deal between him and Edgar?
The connection comes to you like a splash of cold water. Dark, cold water.
Oh, they took out the last leader. 20 years ago, when you met Edgar, The Clares didn't run the union yet, did they?
Hey,
A sputter from the old man.
He acknowledges it. Here we go. A twist behind the dark bend.
Who did?
that bourgeois cow. Tiffin Holly was her name. Licked the rich man's hand every time he came to town. Never seen a labor leader so hot on mutual cooperation.
Sounds like, well, British labor.
And money. She liked that too. That Holly was a real bridge builder and a deal maker.
His eyes glisten suddenly, with hatred.
Bordering on sentimentality, it drips out of him, tempered by something familiar to you. A familiar rage.
She was also a woman, wasn't she? Like that Classia?
She was. And she was real soft on those money men. And a Barbara Muskova bag over her shoulder that she liked to bring to work.
And then she just disappeared.
Called in, they say, on the eve of battle. Ran away. Vanished like a piss stain.
He squints and smiles at the black logs.
No, that's not quite it, is it?
Of course not.
Did she? They say her daughter called in, not her personally. But that wasn't really her daughter, was it?
No, I guess it was not.
You can swear you see the embers glow again under his eyes and on the dust. Edgar had someone make the call. Why is that, Mr. Dross?
She couldn't make the call herself.
Oh,
Here it is. The bend in the river. The truth.
why?
Because she was dead.
No shit.
Just say nothing.
Let her dip.
The cow caught a bullet in her right lung. Fell into the canal grasping her tit and drowned. Or bled? Hard to say. It was a sloppy job. And a moving target. She was going home. Waddling. Dressed in yellow. Drunk like she often was.
But nobody found the body?
Black around her. And she had a yellow leather bag under her arm. She tried to cross the canal. Heading home to Grand Couronne or Betancourt. Someplace like that. Where they build those new bâtiments for the people who flourish in the hell around her. And the ruins.
Be abstract here. A bit of drama.
It was you. Make a motion like shooting a rifle.
It was someone. Someone shot her.
He shrugs. His eyes grow cold suddenly.
Or maybe she just fell. I get these violent ideations. My memory is filled with holes, especially the 30s. All I know is...
Another big spike of rage. Different from the one he has for her.
Okay.
Nothing changed. Not in the material base, not in the hegemony. There was no uprising. Just words. The Union fizzled, sogged. Nothing came of it. Nothing.
So the Claires just used him.
Edgar didn't keep his part of the deal.
Sputter again. Nothing more.
If you were to testify to this, give the RCM something on Edgar, you could walk.
The lieutenant says in a voice even calmer, as if it were nothing at all.
We would strike everything you've done and process you as a POW. You were in a war. You were on assignment. We could even extradite you to the Samaran People's Republic.
A degenerate worker state. Goat shit. No, thank you. I'm Revacholian. My days are short. I will rot away here, in a moral intern cell. I will not testify to anything.
He coughs. Oh, well. Okay, it was part of the audio. But you did do it.
I saw it happen, and I liked it. That's all I have to say. I didn't live and fight for 40 years to end up as a collaborationist. I've heard it on Channel 8, 40 AM, Radio Revachol, late night. Everyone is a blobber in this world.
That was a secret task, okay.
Everyone. They're all already locked up for betrayal. The best ones, the ones with heart, were slaughtered, trampled.
He looks to the city. Yeah, I legit don't know where else I could dump these. Reaction speed, why not? Okay. By the cock parading in his colorful uniform, you mean Renee?
Every fucking morning for 34 years.
Oof.
Throwing that ball. One ball.
I mean, he was the enemy. I can imagine him being pissed about it the entire time.
Game. That is not a working class game. I don't care what they say on Radio June. Royalist ghouls played like it was life itself. Click, clack across the water each day. And that uniform, like a parrot plumage. I won't even mention that he's a traitor to his race. A patank maniac race traitor.
Now I don't know about...
I remember him.
Oh.
I remember him from Lanos. Not him personally, his make and model. There were tens of thousands of them. I thought we took them all out before the liberals came to their rescue. We missed one.
Apparently.
That one.
With this shaky finger, he points to the city, toward the crater near the plaza where a lonely pine tree stands.
There doesn't seem to be a single person under the pine today. Not even Gaston. Alone.
There's no one there.
Fat and plump. Like a pheasant.
He does not hear you.
Begging to be popped off. Please, Mr. Truss. Shoot me.
He whispers with such predatory hunger. It borders on longing.
You'd like to kill him?
Not yet. I like to...
Well, he's already dead.
Strut around. Place the crosshair on his medals. Right on his face. And just fiddle the trigger. Think about it. Let the bomb melt in my mouth.
A treat. Better served for later. He's a pleasure delayer.
He's edging himself over assassination. Save the treat for later?
Is a juicy bonbon, that one. A real treat for the black day. The blackest. When I put that gun in my own mouth, I think. No, don't waste it. Put this...
He's not going to be happy to find out he's already dead.
For the boys he killed. And then I look at
Well, you
him.
didn't notice he hasn't been out the past few days?
I suddenly feel... better. I even hid one bullet, so I'd always have one. For him. Haven't seen him around lately. Strutting around. Must be down with arthritis. I hope it hurts like hell. I hope he sweats blood.
Renee's dead. He died of old age a couple days ago.
No.
Yeah.
I waited too long. I waited too long and now he's dead?
The old communard looks at you, his blackberry eyes shaking in disbelief.
I'm sorry, Mr. Truss. I understand you knew him for a long time.
They're all dead.
That's one way to put it, Kim.
Fuck him.
If he really wanted to kill him so bad, he would have done. There
Yeah.
must have been 1,000 black days on these islands. His health ailing.
You had 1,000 chances to kill him.
And I blew them all. What does it matter now? He's gone. Ancient dust.
You cared about him?
All human beings care about each other.
This is true.
I cared for seeing his head explode. Now, God damn this world.
I'm sorry.
Fuck you.
Jesus. The old communard says, staring at the ground, seemingly to the island you're on. Are you okay, Mr. Dross, to go on?
You think I haven't seen people die? It's all I've seen them do. Fuck and die. All the other plans we had. To love. To colonize the Pale. It's all fucked.
He's not okay. This is just another black day in a row of black days. Something strange is keeping him together, making him endure
Ideology.
an idea told to him by grown-ups from radio towers.
I was joking, but I guess I'm right.
Print. When he was still a teenager, everything is possible if we fight. And then he lost it. So did they all.
I'm glad we talked about this now.
Glad we talked about what?
Alright, I think we can come back for this.
I ain't going anywhere.
Okay. Alright. Anything else to check before we get into it? We'll have the autosave hit, because... I might do a manual one anyway. Alright. What else did we get? Oh, the rifle. Bolt action. Oh, that's $70. Damn. 446 caliber Triangong is a poor man's sniper rifle. One of the most reliable of firearms. It is relatively precise due to a very manageable recoil, thus allowing the shooter to take multiple consecutive... Misspelled consecutive. Shots fast. This particular piece is missing a scope, though. Okay. Finished a bunch of stuff. Alright. Do a quick lap out here. We got everything on the other side, so... Wait, what was this? That wasn't the way in, was it? No, I think it was. Yeah. Because we came out of the bunker there. Okay. Anything else? This feels like it has some finality to it. I still don't figure out what the hell is wrong with his brain meats, but... Alright. Actually, the autosave is going to overwrite, so we'll do a... Or no, it keeps the autosave. I don't have a manual save anyway. Here we go.
The old man stares despondently at the logs. It's like he's forgotten you're there.
Josef Leonovich Dros, you're under arrest for the murder of Ellis Cornara.
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
The old man's eyes fill with sudden, unexpected terror at the words.
The wind picks up. The silence on the water is broken all around you. Little shivers of waves appear. The lieutenant continues, like an incantation.
Your Wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you.
We did
Prosecution.
kind of
You will be
lead him
given
along.
legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand? Do you understand?
But...
Do you understand, sir?
No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He looked at the reeds, eyes submerged in growing terror. What the fuck is in the reeds?
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead. Pupils are dilated too. Eyes getting blacker and blacker.
What?
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
I'm gonna go for the perception check.
There it is again. To your north, as it has been since you came to the coast. The reeds whisper, stalks rubbing against each other. But then...
It couldn't be. It couldn't fucking be.
Something completely different. It sounds like a bow, very slowly being drawn against the strings of a violin. A very small violin, made of reeds and rushes.
Maybe there is room for 3 on the boat.
Kind of okay, up. Shh, Kim, do you hear that?
What?
What are you talking about? Is this... really us?
The old man's voice drowns in a sudden gust of wind.
Your skin crawls.
Okay. It's real. It's fucking real. It's fucking real. What the fuck? It looks like some out of Kentucky Route Zero, but whatever.
A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence.
It's fucking real. What if we blink?
It's still there, an unfolding mechanism of reed-like chitin, hovering in place.
What is that?
What are you talking about?
The old man looks at the reeds, then at you. The giant stick insect?
There's nothing there.
He looks confused.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall.
It's fucking real.
Straight its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head. You feel your legs shaking under you, and your gun hands rise instinctively.
There is. I see it.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make out one small thing in the reeds.
Kim, can you see it?
I can see it.
You can see it. We're not fucking completely gone.
If you can see, then you're not insane. But that means it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence, its limbs long and slender.
Whirling, if you will.
Be very, very careful.
Lieutenant whispers and takes a step towards the giant arthropod. Oh. I didn't even think we'd get a gap before we got to interact with it. Hey, buddy. How's it going?
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging
If there's something we blow here, I am scumming it because I need to know.
at the tips. It is no more than 5 steps away from you.
Fuck.
Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints.
This one's for Lena.
As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine.
And I forgot her husband's name. Sorry.
The tape breaks. The hiss is different from the strings you heard before. It says something else in a low
Okay.
pitch.
We're pretty, built for it, actually. Listen carefully.
Chick, 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 tss. Chick, 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 tss.
This is the Insulindian phasmid.
It is.
You hear the familiar ring of his jacket unzipping. Slowly, painstakingly so. He still has one camera capsule.
You glance over your shoulder. The lieutenant holds
He still has one fucking camera capsule.
He begins to pull it open, extremely carefully.
He only burned one earlier and was very specific about having only 2 to, on hand.
No, the flash will scare the creature off. Warn him now.
The flash is loud. It won't like that.
We need a photo. No one will believe us.
He continues to pull the lens open.
From the corner of your eye, you see a sudden cascade of motion ripple through the phasmid's limbs. A series of ultrasonic clicks fills your ear. I am not palatable. Do not eat me. I am afraid.
It's afraid. Stop now.
I won't be one of those fools who didn't take a picture.
He stopped fiddling with the camera, but does not put it down.
You see the phasmid turn to him, its mandible antennae reaching out. Its motions are quick, sudden.
Who cares what they think, Kim?
Understood. Of course.
He says with a nod.
The spindly mechanism turns itself back to you, its antennae taking their measure of the air, slowly.
Say something to it quietly. Something like... Hey.
The creature tilts its tiny head to the side and appears to look at you. It is incredibly light, like the slightest gust of wind should blow it away. But it doesn't.
Let's go. Beautiful.
Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2 small steps toward the phasmid. The creature lets out a series of ultrasonic clicks that swarm around your head like swallows.
Okay.
Sweat drips from your brow, soak in your chest. You reek of it, your chemicals. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The head of the creature is crowned by reeds, and its eyes are like small droplets of water.
Raise your hand slowly.
The insect stops its stridulation, seeming to observe you. Below its crown of reeds, little pinprick eyes detect motion, glittering. The world stands still around you. Suddenly, there is silence. No, stop. Be afraid.
Raise the other hand, too.
As you do, the invertebrate comes to life, its limbs moving independent of each other, as if each has a mind of its own. They are white, like stalks of porcelain, knitting above you,
Oh, we didn't just blow it.
praying to you.
Oh. Don't pray to me. I'm nothing.
The reed creature does not stop its stridulations. It towers above you, parting the reeds it emerged
The way it
from.
just dips down and shit. That's so...
Structures still rustle on its
I love how they
trunks.
animated this thing.
Perhaps it is preparing to eat its god.
Hello, I'm Harry. I don't really know who I am.
No reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth, along with what appears to be some kind of foam. The stridulations of its limbs continue all around you.
Stand on your tiptoes and look more closely.
You were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature, on its segmented lower lip. It looks to be foaming, slowly. The foam is white, then yellowish.
I saw yellow foam on the lips of the, mercenaries.
The faintest smell, like you've never felt before. Like burnt roses.
Kim, it's foaming.
Careful. It may be poisonous.
Lieutenant watches you apprehensively.
The foam slowly turns a darker shade, like burnt caramel, as the insect moves its mouth parts, masticating. The little bubbles begin to burst, one by one, letting out that same smell, like summer burning. Apricot blossoms, white blossoms erupting, a sensation like cold hands on your face.
Tell me, what are you doing?
I exist.
I exist too.
Tell me what it's like for you.
Fire, burning.
Fire? Where?
Inside.
I do not have fire inside me. In me, there is
I didn't think we were going to get to communicate with it.
but lymph. Like sap from a one palm.
That's cool.
Now, I will tell you what it's like for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit images. A kind of darkness. Being intruded upon. Transient.
This is not where I thought this was going.
Noise.
Intruded upon by what?
Shapes of plants and animals. And internal sensations. A swarm of sounds. Tiny vibrations on the inside of my forearms. All speak of complexities totally beyond my understanding. I am at the end of a narrow funnel. Weightless. So light, it only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have a soul. And if I did, it would never burn.
Glad to be me, an incredibly sensitive instrument.
Few of us can begin to imagine the horror of you,
Oof.
with all of creation reflected in your forebrain.
Yeah.
It must be like the highest of hells.
Yeah.
Kaleidoscope of fire and writhing glass.
Yeah.
Eternal damnation. Even when you're sleeping, and when you wake, you carry it around on your neck, with eyes open that cannot help but swallow more behind the mirror. I feel great, mute empathy for you.
It was very disorienting at first, but I'm keeping my shit together.
That must be
Barely.
incredibly hard. The Arthropods are
Both in character and out.
all of you know that we're watching. When you're tired, when the vision spins out of control, the insects will be looking on, rooting for you.
That's quite the crowd to have in my back.
And when you fall, we will come to raise you up. But from you, banner-like, blossom from you and carry you apart in a sky funeral, in honor of your passing. But not me, because I'm just a leaf eater.
Detective,
Okay. I'm a detective.
So am I. I was born to detect sucrose rewards and semiochemicals. What were you born to detect?
I was born to detect you.
Yes. No one detected me for such a long, long time. For thousands of years. I didn't. out of sight. Trapped myself in greenery.
This is my masterpiece.
No one believed I exist. Almost no one. Until you came to
Yeah, don't discount Lena.
dripping of blood that smells like strawberries. Across the calm sea. The first in 1,000 years.
Is this a dream? What's happening?
No, you're awake. I am real. Light is forming me. This is real.
Use the ads real quick. I want to at least get through the dialogue with this guy before we have to roll one. Where does this come from? All this around us, the world.
Not even the birds know that. Not even the water lily.
Then all we can do is beat our fist against it, day after day, with no answer.
You can also eat it. If it's
Fair
little,
enough.
you can put it in your mouth. Yum yum. Or read.
Fair enough.
Wait,
So you look like a reed and you eat reeds?
Yes, they don't mind.
Have you ever accidentally eaten another reed phasmid?
Yes, I once cloned myself and ate the little ones.
Okay, so asexual reproduction.
And I woke up at the wrong time. It was an accident.
Aw. What exactly are you?
I am an unknown species of the order Phantasmodia, endemic to the Insulandian Insula.
I'm starting to wonder how much of this
150
translation is just in my head.
in plain sight, masquerading as the reeds, molting, cloning myself, unfolding at night to play with trash cans and boys.
Boys?
it may have unknown, dangerous biochemical characteristics that help it maintain its camouflage.
Okay.
No one unnoticed by the first settlers and the land surveyors of the suzerain. Also, by the soldiers of the revolution and
I mean, if it's like a universal translator thing, I could see why it would be filtered through my own perception,
who came here first
perceptive bias.
did not stay. You have not seen me. I have stayed hidden through 4 forms of government and 2 scientific revolutions until I was accidentally discovered by a detective of the city's militia.
Oh, that's me.
District of Martinez, March 51.
Are you poisonous?
Yes, I do not have a starter display, so I use a neurodegenerative element to aid in camouflage.
Oh.
It is only
Neurodegenerative.
periods of time.
Oh, somebody's been here for a long time.
The deserter. He's been here for a long time.
Yeah. Are you the miracle?
No. You are the miracle.
That's got big Keanu Reeves. No, you're beautiful. Vibes.
It was you, coming from the west, from the whirling. You were coming.
How?
The moral of our encounter is I am a relatively medium life form, while you are extreme, all engulfing madness. A volatile
That sounds about right.
system, ominously new to the planet. The Pale too came with you.
Oh.
No one remembers it before you. The Nidarians do not. The radially symmetric
I forget which kind of bugs are Canidarians.
almost unanimous agreement between the birds and the plants that you are going to
Oh, no, the Canidarians might be another type of animal. I've definitely heard that term before, though. Radially symmetrical would be starfish and shit. Wait, the pale is human-made?
It is a nervous shadow cast into the world by you, eating away at reality.
Oh, wow.
A great, unnatural territory. Its advent coincides with the arrival of the human mind.
It's like an extreme example of, perceptual reality. I don't have that kind of power.
You're a violent and irrepressible miracle. The vacuum of cosmos and the stars burning in it are afraid of you. Give me enough time, you will wipe us all out and replace us with nothing. Just by accident.
How?
We suspect it will be something like the oxygen holocaust that wiped out anaerobic life 2.6 billion years ago when organisms first started breathing. Only much worse.
Oof.
Instead of air, you exhale thoughts. There are no trees that eat thoughts.
Worse how?
Everything your eyes touch goes back there, behind the nose mirror. What if you blink? Are we still here? Please don't blink. What if you misplace us all one day, or just forget?
Have I always thought this way?
No, you're only thinking it now. This is a revelation.
I've already forgotten the whole world once when I drank too much.
So it is already happening. Soon, one of you will close your eyes and open them to see that none of this ever existed.
Kim, am I having a violent epileptic seizure?
It doesn't look like that, no.
What does it look like?
You're just staring at it.
Okay. Then I think I'm having a vision about the final fate of mankind.
Okay. Is it somehow related to the case?
Sort of?
I think we should take the picture, and then you should back away from the unstudied species.
Okay. I have to say goodbye now. I have no more thoughts. That was all.
No, there is one more.
Kindest or most beautiful? I feel like kindest. Of all the creatures I've met, of all the creatures I've met, you're the kindest.
Thank you. I also have one more thing to say to you. That woman, turn from the ruin. Turn and go forward. Do it with words.
I love that they made that communist. Get your shit together for communism. I will try. Gotta be as honest as I possibly can here.
She was middle class. It doesn't take a 3-meter stick insect to tell you that.
Dude. Alright. Okay, Kim. Take the picture.
Okay.
With the slow ring of metal, Lieutenant slides the lens open and raises it to eye level.
There is no change in the insect's motion while it's being aimed by the camera. It remains fixated on you.
In 3. If it moves, you jump back. I'll shoot. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
The shrill flash of the camera cuts the air
We got it, baby.
of a sword. The phasmid freezes in its bright light. Head turned toward the lieutenant, hypnotized by the flash. It stands frozen before you. The sweat on your arms feels cold as ice, as if you're frozen as well, in the shadow of this great statue of chitinous marble.
Glorious. Fuck yeah. You hear the lieutenant whisper as the creature's shape develops onto photo paper in his hand. A polychrome ghost of white streaks against the reeds in the sky. And you, as a shadow before it.
Immortalized.
Alright. Slowly reach out and touch the creature's whisker.
The antennae hang from a great height. With your hand shaking, you barely touch the tip of the left whisker. On contact, the chitin curls into a spiral, like the tip of a poison ivy. Its touch on your fingertip feels cold, ticklish. The sensation is electrifying, resounding through your body. It is surprisingly delicate, the curly end of the whisker, like a young vine. It's even a bit wet. Looks like someone's got hurt in a fight. This antennae is much smaller than the other one.
Huh.
Be careful, detective. It's moving.
Look at your finger.
You were right. It glistens with some kind of moisture. The creature in front of you stays frozen.
You know I gotta lick it.
It tastes like sugar, very faint. The anthropod towers above you, tufts of reeds pointing from limb and head alike. Odorless, mostly comprised of water.
Okay. Carefully put its scythe-like forearm.
The limb before you is incredibly light, like eggshell. It's much lighter than a reed. You feel a soft push could tip the creature over. Its hollow exoskeleton collapsing. Warning!
Run your hand up the slender limb higher.
A small shudder passes the creature's arm. High above you, its black pearl eyes still glisten.
I think we'll back off from there.
Mesmerized by the light passing its nervous system. There is some kind of countdown happening as it slowly processes the overwhelming brightness of the signal. The invertebrate is regaining control. Here, within the smooth white inner part of its limb, you sense something very intimate. Thoughts.
I'll share that with Kim, sure. Lieutenant, it's thinking with its limbs.
The nervous system could be spread out like that, over the extremities, like a cuttlefish.
I didn't know that about cuttlefish. Thank you for subscribing to Cuttlefish Facts, by way of large bug.
Or a rhyocinta, an occidental leaf insect, with its brain stored in 4 leaf-like extensions. Or a mimicry octopus, with its intelligent tentacles.
We got it.
Another shudder pulses through the creature's limbs. It jolts back to life, like a record continuing where it left off, in a swaying, praying motion. Even the small black pearls of its eyes do not stray from you.
Swaying, praying, like the typo negative song. Love you to death. I don't know if that's the connection they're trying to make, but that's just where my brain went. Alright, disengage slowly.
As you're turning away, the phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water, the long limbs carrying its feather weight without breaking its surface.
Damn. Good day, stickbug. We got stickbugged. See? That was glorious.
And
I look like a jackass with that outfit.
skating away across the sea's calm mirror like a skipping stone, leaving nothing but circles on the water. And something under it, in the place it stood, bobbing there.
Oh hey, free stuff.
A collection of items.
It dropped loot.
It's gone.
Lieutenant looks north, with his hand raised to his brow. It can walk on water?
Apparently, yes. Like a water strider.
I love how he's, like, blown away, too.
I've never seen anything like that in my life.
What's that in the reeds?
Looks like a nest of some sort. We should have a look.
Alright, we'll have a look in a second, but we got an ad. I'm glad we got through all that before they added. I had to snooze twice, but let's run this so I can see what's in the thing, and we'll be right back.